What is going on, Daniel and Liz? How are you guys doing this fine evening? Jason, joined by my friend, one of my best friends in life, Mr. John Orlando. We got Justin on the ones and twos in the background, just mixing it up. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm impressed that Liz and Daniel are like on it. Like as soon as it hits 7:00 p.m., they're there. I like it. Thank you too. Appreciate it.
I don't know that they're really there. I just assumed.
Oh, well, now you made me out to be a liar.
Well, I'm sharing the link in the Discord that you're not a part of yet, John, that you need to be a part of, because that's where it's really going down.
Okay. All right. So I've been told. So no, I'm a little under the weather. So I'm going to preface that by stating that if I kind of mute myself, I'm either sneezing or coughing. I don't know, dude. Like, this weather is horrific because it's 70 degrees one day. It's 50 degrees the next day. My sinuses can't handle it, man. They just can't handle it.
You know, I'm a fan of the weather like this personally, but I get it. It's a pain in the ass.
I mean, just if you're going to be 50 degrees, then stay 50 degrees, and slightly, make our way up that, temperature trend. But yeah, man, just this it's going to be 72 next Saturday, and all this week is supposed to be in the 50s. And it's like, man, come on, get with it, Mother Nature.
Dude, Ohio is schizophrenic when it comes to weather. It is frustrating and annoying.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely. So things with you good?
Dude, they're good. They're mostly good. Yeah, it was a rough week, but 3 Geeks last night really just knocked me back into a good humor. I was skipping and singing along to my iPhone, and it was a good night last night. And Daredevil's back, and it's been 2 episodes. I mean, technically it's been 3.5 episodes where Daredevil, the character, isn't even on the show. It's just Matt Murdock, but it has been a great run. Episode 3, we got to see Matt Murdock in the courtroom doing, lawyer stuff, which we didn't really get to see in the original series. And then episode 4, there is an amazing scene between him and Frank Castle that I think is one of the best acted Marvel show ever, and maybe one of the best acted sequences I've seen all year.
Who would win in the courtroom, Ben Matlock or Matt Murdock?
It'd be close, but of course it'd be Ben.
Yeah, he pulled something out of his coattails there and beat Matt. I understand we have a comment from Daniel already here.
Daniel sent these in yesterday by carrier pigeon.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. All right. South Carolina weather's like Bruce Banner if he was the Hulk most of the time. Well, I can say that I've only been to your fine state one time, and that was for Hilton Head. And that was the summertime, and it was pleasant, and it was nice. I wish that the people I was with was a little bit nicer, but that's a long story that we don't need to get into right here. We'll just say some of the people on that vacation needed to get an attitude adjustment, But I digress. We're not going down that path. We got plenty to talk about. So
if we're going to do the Marvel analogies, Ohio is like Morph from X-Men 97, because it's all over the place, just changing personalities left and right.
Oh, there we go. All right, we got Corey dropping us a note as well.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's going on, Corey? What's happening? So Daredevil, is that what you're watching? Because we need to get that out of the way. What are you watching, man?
I am watching so much stuff. Since Jamie and I started doing the Big Binge watch list, everybody should watch it. It's on the opposite weeks of Mattalk. Since we started doing that, Jamie and I have been sharing shows back and forth to watch. So my show list has grown exponentially. But there's a show called Doc that's currently out right now that I'm really enjoying. It's about a doctor. She's kind of an ass in the beginning. She gets in a car accident, wakes up. Her memories from the last 8 years are gone.
Oh, that's with Molly Parker.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Molly Parker a lot. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
She finds out when she wakes up that she lost her son. She didn't know that because, again, 8 years of memories are gone, that she's divorced now. And she's got that personality that she had before her son died. So she's that, more positive, upbeat person that these people don't know. And the person that her husband fell in love with is pretty much gone. It's back to the woman, that he was in love with. And, there's a lot of tension and stuff there. And in the hospital, like I said, her entire personality has changed. And I didn't think I'd like it, honestly. I thought it was just going to be another doctor show, but she really elevates her performance in that show. That it's kept me coming back. I'm really, really, really liking it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Molly Parker. I think she's a pretty talented actress. I think ever since what was the movie I saw her in that was, I can't remember. It was like The Center of the World, I think it was called. Way back in the day. Yeah, the Center of the World. She was really good in that. And then of course Deadwood. She was probably one of the bright spots for me in Deadwood. Even though I never finished that series, but I digress. Yeah, that's a cool premise too for that show. That I think that's pretty nifty.
I got another show that I'm watching, but I'm going to let Justin pull up the comments because my co-host for the Big Binge is watching. No, Jamie, Justin's right here. See, there he is. No, he went away again. Justin produces for this show, and yes, she's the one who got me into Doc. But John, you know what was really good? Matlock, the Kathy Bates Matlock. With future guest Danny. She was really good. She's the first. I'm not just saying that because we kind of know her. It's true. Like, she's the first prosecutor, not really prosecutor, but attorney that they've gone up against that's memorable. And I really hope she comes back.
Yeah,
memorable in the way that Elsbeth was memorable on The Good Wife. Like, I can't wait to see that character again in a future episode, and I really hope we do.
I liked the season finale of Matlock. I thought it was really good. I did finale. Well, I think I don't think there's any more episodes on the docket.
I think there is. There's a few more.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because when I looked it up, the episode guide I looked at ended at 15.
Huh. I thought there was more because they said Elsbeth and Matlock would be back. Anyway, I'm going to look that up, but yeah, continue.
Okay. Well, you look that up. I'll continue over here. For me, I have two things to talk about in what I've been watching. I've been on this kick of watching some more obscure films. The first one, which I really enjoyed because it was just fun. Like, is it mindless? A little bit. Is the plot weak? Sure it is. But I watched Original Gangstas, which I believe came out in 1996. Peep this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a fan of blaxploitation films, it's got all the big guns coming together to fight evil in Gary, Indiana. It's Jim Brown. It's Richard Roundtree. It's Ron O'Neal. It's Pam Grier. It's who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. I can't believe it. I'm forgetting somebody. But Robert Forster's in it as a cop. I mean, it's got everything that you need. Thugs, hoodlums, bad karate from some of the folks. Who was the other person that was in it? And I can't remember. Not Dolomite. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy now. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a real fun trip down memory lane for many of you who. Yeah. Wheezy, the actress who played Wheezy's in it from the Jeffersons.
I don't know her name. And the Matlock finale airs April 17th.
Oh, so there's a couple more episodes then?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that was in the cliffhanger because that would have been a cool cliffhanger, the mole. But I hope there's more.
Isabel Sanford is the lady's name that played Wheezy. So that's what I was thinking. But anyways, it was fun. I enjoyed it. So I checked out another good film that was just fun and, mind numbing. And it is what it is. The Street Fighter with Sonny Chiba. It's your stereotypical kung fu flick. Although I did appreciate that in this particular movie, because we've seen it all before. We've seen it before where the hero talks to the bad guy. The bad guy reveals everything, and then the good guy doesn't do anything about it for that scene. He goes away. Nope, not in this one. This one, the Yakuza tell him exactly what they're going to do, and then they attempt to do it. They attempt to kill him. So that was a little refreshing. But I recommend Original Gangsters, especially if you're a fan of blaxploitation films. And I also would recommend Street Fighter for just a fun kung fu flick.
I'll have to check it out. I'm a big fan of the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter.
Well, you know what? Funny you mentioned that. When I was Googling where it was streaming at, that's what kept coming up was Street Fighter, the video game. Yeah, that movie kept coming up. So, all right, we got another comment, I believe. I'm crawling through Dallas season 13. Basically, after season 10, Larry Hagman started portraying J.R. Ewing as more of a parody instead of the evil oil magnet that we had grown to love to hate. That's probably Fred Williamson. Thank you. Fred Williamson was the other one that I couldn't remember. Yeah. Okay. So it's Williamson, Roundtree, O'Neill, Pam Grier, and of course, Jim Brown. So there you go. All right.
Before we get into this episode, John, I just want to say to everybody that is watching now, watching in the future, Tuesday, the 25th, John, myself, Justin, Max, Three Geeks, Mattalk, PVD Cast are all going to be doing a premiere down at Easton for the new Nicole Kidman movie called Holland, 7 p.m., Columbus, Ohio. Just hit me up in my DMs at 3geeksj, at 3geeks podcast. You guys can email us 3geekspodcast@gmail.com. Come and hang out with us. We got tons of giveaways. We're going to be giving away some of these bad boys. Tulsa King, season 2 on Blu-ray. So it's going to be fun.
All right. Looking forward to it. Should be, you know what? Much like Max said last night, I know nothing about the movie and I'm keeping it that way.
Yeah, me too. I just know Nicole Kidman's in it. I'm a big fan of everything Nicole Kidman has done on television lately. So I'm curious to see a new movie by her. I'm surprised she had time to fit it in with her 30 shows she films a year, but we'll see what happens.
She's the hard-working woman in Hollywood, isn't she?
I guess so.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump on into this episode. So with that, it's time for our opening statements. The episode that we're going to review tonight is The Pitcher, and it was divided into 2 separate episodes, which... Why didn't they do that a few episodes ago when we had that other one that was just 1 episode? Like, I don't understand what they're thinking, but nonetheless, the original air date for part 1 was January 17th, 1992, and the original air date for part 2 was January 24th, 1992. And we have a big-time guest star that we have to talk about first. And that is, of course, Christina Pickles, who will be playing the role of Diana Huntington. Now, you may know her as the sorceress in the Masters of the Universe film from the 1980s. Julie Geller on Friends. Caroline Montague in Romeo and Juliet, the one with Claire Danes, the one from the late 90s.
I liked that one. I haven't seen it since high school, but I did like that one.
I've never seen it, so the soundtrack's pretty killer. I liked the soundtrack. It was good. Garbage, Everclear, all those great bands from the 90s. She also played Angie Sullivan in The Wedding Singer. She did several voiceovers for many episodes of The Family Guy. She was Rita on How I Met Your Mama. And that's how I wrote it in my notes. It's How I Met Your Mother. But I was entertaining myself. Anyways, Linnell Conley on Guiding Light. Elizabeth Parker on Get Real. Helen Rosenthal on Saint Elsewhere, and over 80 other credits to her name. So she's a big gun, if you will. And, we'll talk about her performance later as we get into this episode. So
you forgot the biggest credit, John. She was in Revenge of the Nerds 4, Nerds in Love.
I apologize.
Which I watch once a year because I watch all 4 Revenge of the Nerds back to back. I like to watch the franchise do this, and I enjoy every second of it. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds 4, I don't know if you remember this, but Subway had Smell-O-Vision cards that you could go pick up from Subway. Married with Children was in Smell-O-Vision that week. Revenge of the Nerds 4 was, and it would have a little number that would flash on the screen. That's the card you would scratch to sniff so you could smell what they were smelling on the TV.
Oh, the marketing of the 90s.
I miss the 90s.
All right, well, the next individual is Reiner Schoen, or maybe it's Shonay. I'm not sure. He'll be playing the role of Jack Huntington. He has a truckload of credits, but they're all for German TV shows and movies, of which I don't know their names, and I'm not going to try to pronounce them. But he has done some other things, such as he played the role of Freitag in the Eiger Sanction, which was the Clint Eastwood hiking up the mountain movie. He played Chinook in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He played Dukat in Babylon 5 in the Beginning, which was a TV movie. He also played the minister in a movie called Priest. And he also was in an episode of Matlock on season 4, episode 19. He played the role of Louis Castile in the episode called The Pro. This was the episode where Ben ended up getting his client gets convicted, but Michelle and Conrad go to try to find evidence to help Ben win the appeal. The only thing I really remember about this is Perry Gilpin is in the movie or in the episode from Frasier. So, all right, let's move on to our last one here, ladies and gentlemen. And you're going to notice something about this particular gentleman. Eric Christmas is going to be playing the role of the old witness. Now, he'll be the old witness in the park. There's a scene in the park, and that's what his role is. But you may know him as the Vermont senator from the Andromedan Strain, Father Francis Baker in Days of Our Lives, Father Barry on Cheers, Reverend Diddy Moore on Amen, Harry on Wise Guy. As you can see, he's got a lot of religious characters that he was, including he played the priest in a movie called Harold and Maude. Now, Jason, have you ever heard of Harold or Maude? It's safe to say I'm sure you probably didn't watch it.
I haven't seen it, but I've definitely heard of it. It's on my list to eventually watch.
Okay. I recommend it for anybody that wants a quirky, weird movie. I wasn't a fan of the second half of the movie, but the first half of the movie was really, really funny. And for those that just need a little bit of a synopsis, it's about Harold, who's this very odd child that's interested only in death. And he fakes his death multiple times in the first half of the movie to antagonize his snobbish, rich, disconnected mother. They're hilarious. Okay. The things that he does, that he comes up with, are hilarious. But when Maude gets introduced to me, the movie kind of goes down a little bit. That's just my personal opinion. I didn't enjoy it as much, but I'd say it's worth a watch. Go ahead and check it out. I think it's on Tubi, to be honest with you.
He was also in Porky's 2 the next day, and Porky's Revenge, which I have seen all of them, I think. I definitely have seen the first one. I think I saw the second one. Not sure that I've seen the third one.
Okay. I did not know there was a third Porky's, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then he did an episode of Ally McBeal in 2000, which is the same year he died. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Eric Christmas, which is a cool name, too.
To answer Daniel's question, yes, Revenge of the Nerds 3 and 4 were made for TV movies on Fox. Revenge of the Nerds 3 is a guilty pleasure. I do enjoy that to some extent. Revenge of the Nerds 3 was supposed to be a theatrical movie, but Anthony Edwards turned it down to do a little ER show that the Nerds cast was like, you're going to do an ER show? They do those every year. That's stupid. You're going to turn down millions of dollars to be in a Nerds 3. And it worked out well for him. So
yeah, I was going to say, I think he won on that one. So. All right. The opening scene is wait a minute. Sorry. I totally forgot we have to do testify. Okay. Well, anyways, Jason, are you ready to?
If you're still watching, Jamie, that was Justin that turned on the music, so he's here with us.
The opening scene. It's just somebody painting a picture. And then we go to Ben's house where Ace Calhoun and Ben are singing. Jason, do you want to sing? You want to sing? Let's do that. Let's do that Tuesday. Let's get in the theater. Let's sing. Let's sing our intros to the movie. What do you say?
I'm down. And then what's going to surprise you about this is, spoiler alert, everybody, I actually like Ace Calhoun in this episode.
Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, it certainly...
I think I'm coming around on Don Knotts. Good old Don.
Okay.
I think I'm changing my mind.
Well, there's a knock at the door, and crazy cousin Diana arrives. And look,
oh, my God. She's the worst. Why couldn't she... Liz said this in the Discord that John's not a part of yet, that he really needs to be a part of. But Liz said this in the Discord, she's the worst. Why couldn't she be the victim?
I know. We're jumping ahead. As soon as I knew what this episode was, I've seen this episode like 2 or 3 times in syndication, and I hate it. So I'm like, oh, great. So anyway.
Wow, we just let the cat out of the bag. I'm not going to say whether I liked it or not. It's very annoying that Amazon only has part 2. They didn't have part 1 of this.
What?
So I watched part because I'm lazy. I have the DVDs, but who wants to get up? So I watched part 1 on Pluto, and then I went over and watched part 2 on Amazon. Maybe Amazon's just like part 1 sucks, so we're just gonna show you part 2. That's not at all a spoiler from my thoughts on this episode, but like I said, I like Don Knotts, and she is the worst.
Well, apparently her husband Jack left her for another woman, and the way she acts, I somewhat can't blame Jack. Don't hate me for that comment, but the way she acts. Anyways, Ben tries to calm down Diana, and Ace decides that it's getting too awkward, so he's going to leave. And even though Diana kind of already yelled at him to leave, go on home. And so Jack has left Diana for Lisa. I love how Ben pats her on the head. Like, that is so condescending, but she deserves it. So.
The worst. And I like Christina Pickles a lot. But, oh, my God. Like, it's like, can you die? Like, this episode, like, we need you to be the victim.
Well, Ben tries to smooth things over, and she's, like, trying to give him a bunch of bull, and he's like, look, you can't lie to me. I've known you since you were a kid, And they argue a little bit back and forth. And Diane talks about how she just wants Jack back, all right? Or Jack Black, maybe. Hey-o! Anyways, she wants Jack back. And no one knows where he is. Nobody will tell Diana where he went or anything along those lines. Even like his attorney or his buddies or anything like that won't tell her. And so
Diana, I know where he went. He left you because you're obnoxious. And it's a miracle he didn't do it sooner. You should count your blessings that you had a week with him.
Wait, didn't she say something about that they were together for like 18 years or something?
I think. Oh my God, I can't imagine. That'd be awful. I barely like spending an hour and 20 minutes with her watching the episode. Can you imagine? Oh my God, that'd be divorce number 3 for me, and it would be like over in a week.
Well, she begs Ben to help. Can you just help me find Jack, please? Ben's like, no, I don't want any part of this. No. But she drops the mom card that, my mother, God rest her soul, she used to think you were the best, that you was, oh man, that's low. That's hitting below the belt if you ask me. Anyways, reluctantly, Ben agrees to take on this endeavor, if you will. There's an office building, and that office building did not look like it would be an art gallery. Like, I was like, that looks like where you go and get your taxes done, or you get your mortgage signed, not going there to get art. But and we get a nice shot of this kid running amok from his mom in the gallery and knocking over a vase. But ooh, who's got quick hands? That's right, Conrad McMaster. He caught that vase, set it back up. I literally thought maybe he was going to hit on this girl. Like, I really did. I thought this was going to be some romancing from Conrad, but apparently no, because in his story that he tells this young lady, whose name is Randy, that his wife and him have gotten some other Lisa Sullivan's paychecks or tax checks, I should say. And so wants to find her and can't find her. She used to work there at the gallery, yada, yada, yada. It's amazing how loose-lipped people were back in the day, isn't it, Jason?
Yeah.
Randy doesn't even bat an eye. Oh, hold on. I'll write it down for you. There you go. Gee, Zoe. One other thing that Conrad asked for. Hey, do you happen to know what Lisa looks like? Because I don't know. And so they show this photograph, which is going to be the central point of this whole episode, by the way. And it shows this pic of her meeting some famous artist. So Conrad goes to Lisa's apartment, and Jack urges her to let Conrad in. Now, he knows Conrad, the way that they interact, but how? How does he know Conrad?
Conrad knows everybody.
Well, there's actually going to be another story about that in a minute, too, because it seemed like an awful lot of people know Jack as well. But anyways, Conrad and Jack are talking for a moment, and all of a sudden, Diana busts through the door, acting crazy, yelling and screaming, and pulls a gun. Conrad doesn't even wrestle the gun away from her. Just like he holds it in her hand because there's like this scene of it in his hand. I'm like, that's not a secure firearm. You need to hold that thing a little bit tighter. I would have liked the scene, and I know this is terrible for me to say, but I would have liked to see Conrad knock her out. Pow.
Not even in the 90s, my friend. Not even in the 90s. We do have some comments. It's a good time to throw them up, I think, okay. Justin. Good job, Justin. Yeah, Justin does an amazing job. Dude, you just threw Jamie's comment right off the thing. Anyway, I remember this episode. Christina Pickles played Ben's disagreeable cousin. That's a nice way to put it. Who later was accused of killing her ex-husband. Again, no Nancy Stafford. Again, for episode reasons. Yeah, I think Nancy Stafford, like I said, this is her last season. I think she was already on her way out. And then Daniel writes, I feel like Diana was the one character who could push Ben to drop an F-bomb. Absolutely. Previous comment was from Gary. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, I agree. And anyways, I mean, let's move on. Let's keep on going here. However, one thing Jack notices that when Conrad drags Diana out of the apartment is that picture that he got from the art gallery is on the floor. And so we cut to a scene where Ben's at home. Jack is called. Ben apologizes. Conrad shows up with Diana. And then you can't do this. Well, the gun wasn't loaded. Well, you still can't menace somebody with a firearm. So there's a meeting in a cafe between Jack and Ben. I loved the stereotypical band that you think you would hear in a cafe in the early 1990s. It had a very much of a 10,000 Maniacs tone to it, if you will, or mood to it. And if you happen to not know who the 10,000 Maniacs are, you can just Google that. Anyways, Lisa is changing Jack, man. He's got new hair. He's got new coffee that he likes. He's hanging out with the hip kids in the hip crowd. And
his blood pressure's probably down too.
Yeah, probably, man. Probably. He orders Ben a double mocha. And Ben, I don't think he liked it. I don't think so. But anyways, Jack gives Ben the picture and he goes, look, this is a picture from a gala from a year ago. And I'm in this picture, but I wasn't there. Somebody, manipulated this photo, right?
Well, he was there. He just wasn't there on the night with the other people in the photo.
Right, exactly. There were two nights where that gala happened. There was a night for VIPs and there was a night for the regular Joes of the society. And yeah, so that was a little bit interesting there. So Jack wants Ben to start investigating this picture. And Ben's like, look, I don't want to do that. I got a law firm to run. But, the whole you owe me, your crazy cousin tried to shoot me. So Ben goes to the art gallery and he's introduced to Carolyn, who's on the phone, who's being very rude. Oh, his art sucks. Click. Although I did like that she had a clear phone. That's so 1990s, isn't it?
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, she didn't have the phone with the long cord, though. Did you have the phone with the long cord? I did, so I could carry it to my room and talk to the girls.
We had one in the kitchen, so it could stretch clear across the kitchen.
Mine could go up in my room, up the stairs around the corner.
Oh, no. We didn't have one that long. No, but we had a long one. I don't think Ben gets art. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't think I needed to say that. I think that everybody watching and listening totally gets the idea that, yeah, he doesn't like art. Ben is flabbergasted at a $28,000 painting. And then Ben asks Carolyn about the photo, of which she's like, oh, yeah, that happened here. Blase, answer, et cetera, et cetera. But as soon as Ben leaves, Carolyn's on that phone calling somebody about that picture. So Lisa, Jack.
Yeah, there's somebody here asking questions. It's that lawyer, Benjamin Matlock.
Yeah, right. That's not ominous at all. That something bad's going to happen here.
No, and he's that lawyer. He's the guy.
Yeah, he's the pit bull, if you will, and he's well known in the community.
I love that.
Well, anyways, Lisa, Jack, and Ben are back at the cafe, and they're talking about the pick. And this scene had no reason to be in here. Diana shows up, she pours coffee on Jack's head, and leaves. What was the point?
I mean, we get to see how angry she is.
I guess, but we've already seen that with a handgun. We've already seen that with her temper tantrums, but I don't know. Well, so we go back to a scene at Ben's home. It's nighttime, and Ben is asleep. And lo and behold, he hears a crash downstairs. So he grabs his trusty baseball bat, which I like that. He means business. And Ben goes downstairs and interrupts a burglary. The burglary knocks Ben down and escape, and Ben finds out that pitcher is long gone.
Do you think Andy Griffith uses a stunt double in this?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he uses a stunt double all the time because he had that back, or not back. He had like a foot injury or knee injuries. He had bad knees or something. I can't. Daniel told us. Daniel, drop it in the comments. What was it? His back or was it his knees?
I think it was his back.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have a couple of comments that we can pull up right about now.
Yeah, Christina was in St. Elsewhere is what Gary says. Have you tried to watch St. Elsewhere yet? I want to watch that so bad. It's got Denzel. It's got Mr. Feeney in it. It's got a hell of a cast.
It's got Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel, yeah.
Yeah. All right. But maybe Jack's blood pressure is up if you smell what the Rock is cooking. Wink, wink. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Maybe.
yeah. Maybe. Boing. Anyways. So Ben confronts Carolyn the next day about the pick and the burglary. And Carolyn says, I don't know what you're talking about. The only person that I said anything about the pick to was Randy. And so I will make sure that she doesn't say anything. An argument breaks out between Dick Lerner I'm sorry, folks. I can't help it. I'm an immature juvenile at my very core. I'm sorry. Dick Lerner and two goons kind of argue amongst each other once Dick gets off the phone with Carolyn. So Conrad talks to a guy named Leon about the photos. And he bribes Leon if he finds what he likes as he's going through these negatives. $50 to get it started, and then every one that he pulls out is another $50. And so Ben chats with Dick, and Dick says, yeah, I was at the gala. I was in the VIP section. And so, yeah, I was there. And then he offers him melted chocolate balls, which I didn't understand this part of this scene either. Like, what was the significance of that? He just has Whopper sitting on the corner of his desk. And then he acted like he didn't even like them because he picks one up and then goes, eh. So, all right, let's see. Got a couple more comments here. One from Gary and one from Daniel. Gary also, Nancy Stafford was in it. Also, she was struggling as an actress before Matlock. I knew that. Nobody didn't. Okay. All right. Thank you, Gary. Back upper leg injury. St. Elsewhere is a good one to check out. All right. So Conrad, he finally finds one of the negatives. All right. And as he's getting ready to leave the building where he was at, Leon's building, he's attacked by a guy in a ski mask. Now, I'm just going to throw it out there. At this point, I thought Leon was the guy because he says he's like across the hall in the dark room. Don't bother me. I thought that's who it was. I was like, that's interesting. But we do find out that is not who it is here in a few minutes. Ben is at home when Ace stops by to express big news. Big news, Jason. Yep. Ace is getting married. To who? To a woman he met in the produce aisle of the local Publix or IGA or whatever grocery store you have down there in Georgia.
Yeah, they backed up into each other. Probably Piggly Wiggly.
Probably the Piggly Wiggly, yeah. Miss Daisy, you need to go to the Piggly Wiggly? Anyways, so this is just ridiculous. Like, I don't understand why his love life is jammed into this episode. Like, it just...
Oh, dude, I love it. I love it. It's something to enjoy. Like I said, I've come around on old Donnie in this series, and I don't know. I really like this whole thing.
I'm not a fan of it, but anyways, she asked him to help her figure out how to squeeze the melons. Ha ha. She used to be a nurse. This is so juvenile and awkward, this whole scene. And the honeymoon is going to be at the Mayo Clinic.
I love that Ben doesn't even question the fact that his friend is getting married.
Yeah, Yeah, no. Hey, are you rushing in on this or nothing whatsoever?
No, they've known each other
thing.
for like 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you doing, man? Anyways, we have a comment from Liz. Let's hear from Liz. And Ben just puts the Whoppers in his pocket. Probably. You're right. That's exactly what happened. It would be a mess.
If you guys are watching, go follow Liz at Dark Sea Yarn for all your yarn needs. I'd like to give you a plug.
Conrad shows up at the house, kind of beat up, still has the negatives. And so one of the things that is revealed is that there is, again, the whole thing about the pictures being merged together, being manipulated. And you could do that from the negatives. So Bob Brooks, Conrad, and Ben go looking for this Resnick fella. And they found him all right, dead.
Dun, dun,
And
dun.
he's the guy that jumped Conrad, and he's the guy that burglarized Ben's house. Jack IDs the negative is really the fake picture that he knows. And again, he runs down his alibi. And as everybody leaves Ben's house, Diana shows up again. She gets mad. They argue, her and Jack, and she ends up hitting him multiple times with a purse. And Bob Brooks is standing right there. That shows how much lack of authority he has on this situation. Am I right?
Yeah, and also, like, it's a miracle that she doesn't get convicted for this crime. Like, she's lucky that her cousin hasn't had his last nerve with her.
Well, number one, has Jack or Lisa pressed charges for the gun thing? Because that's what I thought. I thought somehow maybe they got sweet-talked into it from Ben not to press charges.
Probably done off camera, even though that would have been something interesting to see on camera.
I agree. So, by the way, while Jack and Diana are arguing, we pan over to a villain sitting watching in the car. And I believe that villain, if I'm not mistaken, was Carl, if I remember correctly. So in the next scene, Ace needs advice on wedding plans. Not sure what music to play. So Ben says, why don't we just sing together, a duet? What will we sing? Carolina Moon. Okay. You're sensitive though, Ace. You might cry. No, I'm not going to cry. 30 seconds into the song, he starts to cry. And then he storms off because he's not crying. His allergies are bothering him. Likely story.
Just like what John keeps telling me.
So Lisa, we got cut to a scene where Lisa is doing art. And Jack is just sitting there strumming a guitar. And I thought, man, this would be a great cameo. This would be a great place for a cameo, and a cameo of Bob Ross over on the other side, the other easel, making happy little trees. See, I wore the shirt just for that joke. I put the shirt on.
Nice. I love that man.
Oh, he's the best. Anyways, Randy ends up calling Lisa and says that Carolyn is trashing Lisa. Now, this happened before the scene started. Earlier in the day, she called me and she's like, Carolyn's putting a bad mouth to me, et cetera, et cetera. So Jack said, all right, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over and apologize for starting all this noise. All right, I'm sorry. I'll get it all taken care of. But while I'm gone, Lisa, you pack your bags to the Caribbean. This seemed like out of nowhere. And number one, they kind of mentioned how artists don't make a lot of money. So what the heck is Jack going to do? Jack's going to foot the entire bill, I'm assuming, right?
I don't know. They didn't specify. Maybe Lisa makes a lot of money. Maybe she's rich.
I don't know. But anyways, Jack appears at the gallery. He's led in by Randy. And she says there's a meeting going on in the back. So he goes in the back. And lo and behold, there's Dick, there's Carl, and there's Carolyn. And they all have this picture on their desk. And they're like, oh, like Dick puts his hands and that over the picture. And they tell him it's a Warhol. Jack ends up apologizing. He leaves, and he makes this really weird exchange with Randy about, I hate Warhol. He's a chump. So we cut to a scene where Bob Brooks stops by Ben's house to tell him all about Resnick, and that's interchanged with a scene of Jack and Lisa packing, and Jack says, "We'll leave as soon as I finish my jog." Hugo Wyckoff was an artist, and he was afraid of Mr. Resnick. And Resnick apparently, supposedly killed him in a hit-and-run accident. But there's an alibi for Resnick because he was at the gala. But was he? Or is he the guy that was manipulated into the picture? And also, Resnick has called Carol, and he has called Dick, and he has also called Carl the day before the murder of Wyckoff. Jack is running. He's running in the park, and he's hit by a car. And my God, like, he didn't get hit. Like, that car drove through the park as if it was like a game of Spy Hunter attempting to kill him. That's
what's
hardcore.
Amazing is he makes it all the way home in Atlanta traffic to drop the car back off. Like, there's no way, none, that he doesn't get stopped.
Oh, no. Anyways, but it is Diana's car. So that's something interesting. Bob Brooks arrives to investigate. He asks Lisa some questions, and then Bob shows up at Diana's home and checks over the car, which she hasn't driven in a couple of days. And lo and behold, it has front-end damage, and Diana is arrested. And then Ben is adamant that he is not going to represent Diana, and she could just sit in jail. But darn it, she plays the mom card again. Oh, Mom would, if she was here, she would really appreciate you being my lawyer. She's the worst. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, Conrad agrees with me because he's like, I can't believe you're going to represent her. And Ben says, I have to. She's family. And that ends part 1 of the picture. Jason, anything you want to say about this so far?
No, not really.
Okay, I think we have Gary with a couple more comments, if we can bring those up, please. Wow, as handsome Conrad was, he gets all beats up from bad guys. Yes, he does get beat up quite a bit. And Ben vehemently told Diana to go straight home, and Jack agreed with Matlock, and I must say that's no lie. Yes, indeed. I think, Gary, you really like this episode. I'm going out on a limb. But thank you for the compliments in the comments. Part 2 opens with the same opening scene, and then we go to Diana at Ben's door. She gives him flowers. She says that she's been at this retreat now for a couple of days, and she's calm. And I'm like, you mean you're a suspect in a homicide, and you can just gallivant wherever you want? What is this?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you get bail, but still, you can't be just, I'm going to go on a spa treatment. Ugh. Ben says that the case is going slow, and this means Diana has to start to erupt, and she ends up throwing a vase full of flowers at Ben. I wish Ben would have just flying forearmed her right in her grill. Anyways, I digress. Lisa and Randy talk to Ben, and they talk about how the printing thing that they were looking at in that meeting was not a Warhol. Like, they don't have a Warhol. They haven't had one in for years. They also said that they noticed that Carolyn, Dick, and Carl left the meeting very angry. So Conrad chats with Lily Wyckoff about her husband's death. Why does she have a German accent? Like, in a bad German accent. I mean, it was terrible. It was like Hogan's Heroes bad. I mean, right?
It's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad. She says deep down in her heart, she knows that Resnick killed him, despite what his alibi is. And then Conrad's like, do you have any information for me, any paperwork or anything? And she goes, I do. She goes, I have lots of art that you can take a look through and see if you can find a clue. But the nudes are all me, by the way. Conrad, my man, I think you just got a pass. Okay, let's see what he does with that. Carl's confronted by Ben while Carl was trying to leave. Carl again claims his alibi as he's playing racquetball. And Dick, Carol, and Carl meet to discuss this painting again, or this artwork again, which I got to be honest, when it's finally revealed what that artwork is, I was astounded that I didn't pick up on it earlier. But Conrad and Ben check out some of Hugo's art. And Carl comes into the gallery in the next scene, and Conrad is undercover as one of the cleaning crew. And Carl IDs him. It's like, hey, listen, yeah, that's him. It seems that Randy's in on the plan a little bit as she tries to egg on Conrad. Carl and Carolyn set up a trap for Conrad about, we'll get the van at 5 o'clock. We'll make the delivery at 7, et cetera, et cetera. So we cut to a scene in the courtroom where the old man is on the stand. He's testifying about Diana's car, but the old man cannot ID the driver. And here's where we find out really what that artwork was all about. The Warhol painting is actually just going to be used to make counterfeit $50 bills. Dude, am I the only one that missed this? Like, I didn't realize till just here and now that that's what they were doing. Am I dumb? Like, what, Jason, did you know from the get-go that this was all about counterfeiting?
Not from the get-go, no.
Okay. All right, well, good. I don't feel so bad. So Lisa's on the stand. She talks about how her treatment at the hands of Diana went, in the past. And apparently Christina sent a birthday card that was threatening. And that leads to another explosion, another outburst, if you will, from Diana. And so Lisa is painting at home when Diana shows up, and they're way too congenial for me. Like, I'm like, why? Why is she showing up? And why would you answer the door? I would slam the door in her face. She's got one question, though, Diana does. Were you going to marry him? Like, what difference does that make? Mind your own business, Diana. Nobody cares.
Yeah, Diana, chill out. You're just lucky. You should be in a box somewhere until this trial's over. We should mail you to Alaska. Anyways, they share their philosophy on marriage, because they have two different versions of what they think marriage is. They, of course, being Lisa and Diana. Conrad follows the van driven by Carl. And meanwhile, there's another scene. We cut to another scene where Carolyn and Dick are loading the car. And then we cut back to the van pulling into a storage facility. And Carl starts loading the van. And meanwhile, out on the curb is Conrad in his sweet Mustang. And who shows up to ruin everything? Diana. Like, what? Who told her where he was going to be? I think she just knows. Annoying people have a radar that they just tend to find you.
Oh, my God. I don't know what more to say. Well, Dick and Carolyn show up in this patch of woods where they meet these other two guys, and they're going to make the switch real money for the fake cash. And all of a sudden, as the transaction made, Bob Brooks, Ben, and some cops show up, and there's a chase that ensues. And the chase is short-lived as the villain's van wrecks, and money goes everywhere, and Ben is grabbing money out of the air. I'm like, Ben, that's evidence. You don't get to keep it. So we have some other compliments here and whatnot. So let's see. Daniel, I think, is up first. She knows nothing. Colonel Hogan, nothing. Very well done. Jason, I'll let you take this one.
I thought for a while they were murdering artists so their art would appreciate in value. That would have been fascinating.
That might have been better than the plot that we're talking about tonight. I got to be honest with you. And Gary's got a big one. I love this episode. In the second part, Ben tried to get Diana to remain calm after going to a retreat. When Matlock couldn't tolerate that kind of behavior, she needed 30 years in jail. Also, when Matlock said the case was really slow and she was following Shepley, which she was really following Conrad McMasters, one of Ben's associates' most favorite private investigator. Diana's no Michelle Thomas. Only Conrad does the investigating. Diana does not. You know what, Gary? Thank you. That's probably it. She was following Carl Shipley and just by accident. No, just by accident, she stumbled onto old Conrad. Okay. So we go to the police headquarters. Bob is grilling all of them. Carolyn, Dick, and then later Carl's brought in because he's arrested too. The lawyer for Carolyn and Dick is very, very, very upset. And Ben points out, look, this ain't just counterfeiting. You're going down for murder. And then Ben goes off. We get a little dose of angry Ben, Jason, which I know had to make you feel good.
I do like angry Ben.
I know you do. I know. And then what about Carolyn? She's like, I was in bed by myself. Well, nobody could prove that. But you cannot prove it that I wasn't in bed by myself.
Not prove that I wasn't in bed.
Yeah. Look at that. She's throwing down the gauntlet.
Double negativing.
Yeah, that's right. So Diana is also at headquarters. She blew the cover of Conrad. And again, thank you, because I wrote down not clear why she was following him, but thank you, Gary, for straightening that out. I appreciate it. Ben and, of course, Diana have another argument. This is where I think the go back home statement is made. Conrad's going to check out Carolyn's home, and he makes a car phone call, which means that was $13 a minute. Conrad talks to the meter reader, and he was like, hey, I'm here every Wednesday except for the 18th. I wasn't here because the gardener was here. I gotta wait. I had to wait, so I wasn't going to be able to do the meter reading. Jay, could we have a moment of silence for the broken heart that Ace Calhoun is suffering right now?
Yeah, poor guy. I mean, they had so many long days of love, and
so many.
It just ended. I mean, days and days of love. That's unfortunate, man. I get it.
I mean, if these two crazy kids can't make it work, what hope is there for us, man?
No, man. I mean, this is almost as serious as a high school relationship. I mean, days.
Who's he going to go shopping at the IGA with? Who?
Well,
Who?
I mean, she says that they can be friends.
It's all because of that darn Social Security check. Unfortunate. Sorry, Ace. Sorry about your heartache. Now we go back to the courtroom now. Carolyn is on the stand. Man, she dodges a lot of questions, and she also pulls out the Fifth Amendment as well. It's like that throwback to Dave Chappelle.
I was trying to do it. My voice is cracking. That's weird.
So basically what they come up with is that Jack saw a proof sheet of the $50 bills, like, what they were going to make the counterfeits from. And so they lied about the Warhol. And then Ben brings up, her hours. Okay, look, you say you don't go to bed till like late, like 1 a.m., and then you hardly rise before 9 a.m., but your gardener doesn't start till 9 p.m. or 9 a.m., not 9 p.m., 9 a.m. So she's like, I don't know, I'm sleeping. I was like, yeah, but the machines are going to make a lot of noise. So that's not a really good alibi. But apparently, Carolyn was up early at 7:55 on the 18th, and she was witnessed by the gardener leaving her home. Carolyn had a secret meeting with a guy named Jeffrey Aiello. No relation to Danny, I hope. Anyways, so we go to the hallway of the courtroom where Dick grabs, and he's arguing, he's yelling at Carolyn, and grabs her arm, and Ben sees all these injuries on Dick's arm, right? Conrad chats with a valet, and he says that Dick Lerner is a regular, and he's usually in every Wednesday, except for the 18th. At the 18th, the street outside of the restaurant was closed for repairs. And then we find out that Dick took a cab to that restaurant. And so into the courtroom we go, where Dick refutes knowledge on who Jeffrey Aiello is. And so basically it's pitched that, well, Carolyn knows who he is because she made a side deal with him to give him some $50 fake dollar bills. The wounds on the arm of Dick are from the broken glass when he had Diana's car and he was chasing around trying to hit down Jack. He jacked into I think a guardrail, and that shattered and all the glass cut his arm. So Dick says, no, that never happened because he has car shield. That's why that would never happen. Okay. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I tried to fit it in. I thought it was funny. Anyways, so Dick claims, no. I drove to the restaurant. And they're like, no. We have a receipt from a tow truck. You had your tow truck towed to a gas station, and then you took a cab to the restaurant. So not only were you a little bit late, but you don't have access to your car. And so that's what led you to improvise and borrow Diana's car, because that's where you were picked up at, like right around the corner, and used it for the hit and run. So we get to the closing moments of the episode where Diana is not found guilty, thanks to this whole tow truck, broken down car, et cetera, to clear the good name of Diana Huntington. Ben, I guess, has personal space issues because she was hugging him. He's like, no. And she goes, I have one more favor to ask. And he's like, no more favors. No. Oh, well, I was just going to ask for you to hand me a pen so I could sign the check. Womp womp. All right. Big question before we get to our closing statements. Why did they use Diana's car? Like, there's no direct connection between Diana and the three villains. So it was just a random thing that happened? Like,
no, they wanted to frame her because it was her ex.
But that doesn't, okay, I get that. But, like, to me, that seems like a flimsy motive.
I mean, she's kept walking in places, beating him up and throwing things at him. So, not really.
Okay.
It's definitely believable. All right, guys. So, this is the part of the podcast where John and I will rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel means that we kind of didn't like it. 5 gavels means we absolutely loved it. And negative 37 gavels, that means that we're going to become art thieves. John, how do you rate this episode?
I give it a 3. I thought that the car chase was something different we haven't seen in a while. I like the idea that the crime revolved around counterfeiting as well as a murder. Thought that was good. Wasn't a fan of Diana at all. Like the just the overacting and the annoying manner in which she was portrayed. And again, I'm still not sold on why they used her car for this crime. But and you know, I mean, I guess I have a negative being the Ace storyline, but I mean, I guess it was all right. I guess you convinced me otherwise, Jason. So
I give the show a 2.5 out of 5. The Ace thing kind of saved it for me. I'm not a super big fan. Second half was better than the first half, but it wasn't for me. I think this would have been better as a 45-minute episode. And I think the previous episode would have been better as an hour-and-a-half episode. That's just me. But yeah, I mean, 2.5. That's where I'm at.
All right. Well, let's get our last couple of comments here. One from Gary. Ben should have said no. Anyways, well, that probably should have maybe happened. Oh, wait a minute, Liz. I've seen Hell or High Water, so I already know this. Yeah, when you counterfeit 5s, nobody really checks those. If you've ever seen that movie, in which I highly recommend it, by the way, Hell or High Water, that's the central plot. All right. Gary, back at it, saying I give it a 10. I like the one where Ben and Conrad had a lot of interaction where they had to deal with the murder of a man who was an artist.
See, Gary liked it so much he gave it a 10 out of 5. And respect.
That's right.
So you guys can find me at 3 Geeks Podcast, at 3 Geeks J, all over the internet doing shorts. My dog is going nuts because she needs to go outside. So that's where I'm going to leave it. John, where can everybody find you?
All right. Well, you can find me at pvdcast.com. It's the online home for me. And basically, got a lot of great stuff going on. I'm trying to wrap this up so Jason can go release the hounds, so to speak. But this week, got a cool comic book creator by the name of Stephen Prince, who is doing an amazing book called Monster Matador. It's got kaiju, matadors, luchadors, some Mad Max elements to it, some Indiana Jones elements to it. It's a cool show. It's a cool comic. You need to definitely check it out. Again, that's at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. And you know what, Jason, if you want to jump off, I'll handle Daniel and Gary's last Daniel has one more. I'm sorry. We already talked about Gary's, but Daniel's last comment, John Harkins actually appeared on a few episodes of Dallas. Going to give this one a 3, and that's pushing it. Is this not a perfect example of cash rules everything around Matlock? Oh, it does. Yes, it does. If we wouldn't get in trouble, we'd play the music, but YouTube and all those outlets are a little touchy,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can email us at benmattalk@gmail.com. Follow us at Mattalk Podcast. And John, should we get out of here?
As they say in court,
nothing further.